What's up guys, back again with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to design vintage style basketball tees like the ones you see right here and right here. It's going to take a little bit, a little work involved, but you can do it. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like the tutorials, and yeah, let's get into it. So these right here are the designs that I came up with. It's Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley 1993 NBA Finals based. This is the front, this is the back, and these aren't really that hard to design. It's just a lot of elements that you have to include, but it's very doable. So first thing we're gonna do is actually get started with the front. It has some 3D text that we have to render in. We have to add a couple of elements. Added some photos here at the bottom, custom basketball design right here, logos, and the flaming basketballs, thunder in the back with the picture of Charles Barkley and Jordan like shining in the NBA championship. So let's go ahead and get started. We can come back to the back later. So the first thing I want to do is open a new document. We're just going to go ahead and come in and make it by scratch. 20 by 25, 300 pixel resolution. And we're going to go up to Windows, Arrange, and we're going to go to Tile, wait, 2 up vertical. I'm going to actually make this one black. Make our color black here. So the first thing we're going to do is come in and add some of our assets. I have most of the assets already ready in the in a folder here, stuff that I used. So the first thing I'm going to drag in is the NBA championship trophy. Gonna rotate it here a little bit. Place that smack dab in the center, similar to what we can see right here. Maybe scale it just a little bit. About so. And then having this in the middle is just going to give us our reference point of where to put the players. So the next thing I'm going to do is drag in Michael Jordan here. Gonna scale him down just a little bit. Click OK. Then I'm going to right click on it in the layers, and I'm going to rasterize the layers so we can get access to the remove background feature here. Gonna let it do its thing. Of course, it's probably not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna come in and do some touch-ups here on the finger and the sneakers in a little bit. Next, I'm gonna bring in Mr. Charles Barkley here. Throw him in like that. Gonna try to scale him down here to about the level that MJ is. Actually, let's go ahead and rasterize him really quick and remove the background from him. As you can see, when we remove the background, we still have Dan Marley here in the back. We're gonna have to remove his leg, touch up some of the sneaker, and we're also going to Control T just to scale him down just a little bit more. Try to make him the same size as Mike. Kind of similar to the picture we have on the side here. Also want to make sure the ball is still visible. I want it to be out of the picture. I'm gonna nudge MJ over just a little bit to make some more room here. And that should be okay for now. This goes up a little bit. As you can see in this picture, the shoe kind of lines up with the trophy right here. So gonna do it just a little bit higher like that. I think I'm actually gonna rotate Chuck just a little bit this way, just like that. And like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of the touch up a little bit later. The main thing right now is just bringing the elements in. So I have a wood floor element that we're going to add right here. Just gonna drag this down, place it right here. Just align with the bottom of the trophy, just to give it, you know, make it look like the trophy is actually sitting on something. Okay, I'm gonna move it to the back and adjust as needed, like so. And in a little bit, we're gonna actually rasterize it right there, and then I'm gonna create a layer mask, not a clipping mask, a layer mask. And we're going to get the brush. Actually, we're gonna click invert, and we're going to use a brush here, and we're going to select the soft round brush. Also, when you're doing your brushes, you don't want to have caps lock on, because if you have caps lock on, it'll just turn to this little plus and you can't really see the size of the brush, so you can't see what you're doing. So whenever you're doing your brushes, just make sure you have caps lock off. And then we're going to inverse it. Since our mask is black, we're going to take our white and we're just going to kind of bring it in. Kind of want it like in a square, you know, kind of leave the border a little away from it. Actually, we're gonna make this brush a little bit smaller, just so we can have more control. I'm going to come in, do it like this. Actually, it's too small. Let's try around. And then, if you do too much, you can always flip them. Come around like so. Just kind of touch it up. Try to do it as straight as possible. Another way to actually do this is to let me just show you guys another way to do it. That might be a little bit more cohesive. We're gonna go to our rectangle tool. We're gonna set the feather at the top right here to, let's try 75. And then you're gonna select the area that you kind of want filtered out. And then we're going to fill it. And make sure you have the mask selected right here. You're going to fill it with black. That way it's kind of straight. You do the same thing to the bottom here. Let's actually make this side a little bit smaller. So we're gonna go ahead and don't delete. Click fill, black. And we're gonna do the same this side. Fill it with black. Fill it with black. There you go. And we're gonna do a little bit more touching up to this in a minute as well. But so let's go ahead and add an element that's actually in one of my packs available on Zays Studio. We're gonna just bring this here up a little bit just to give it, you know, just to give it a little vintage design style. I can't remember what pack this is in. It's actually, I think it's in the vintage assets, vintage streetwear assets pack, along with a bunch of other, you know, nice designs. And one more thing we're gonna do here with this trophy is we're gonna duplicate it, and we're going to bring it down. We're gonna edit, transform, and we're going to flip forward. Then we're going to edit, transform, flip vertical. Actually, don't do horizontal, because we want to give it that mirror effect. And then we're going to add a mask on this one. Invert. And we're going to take the brush and we're going to slightly bring it back. Let's make sure we have white. Another thing you can kind of do under the brush tool, we change the opacity down to about 65 or so. Just gonna bring in the reflection. If you do too much, feel free to come back. Then you can always come here, lower the opacity to kind of give it like a reflection type of look in the floor. Okay. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is add the actual background that I found. It's like a NBA arena, kind of like stage slid onto the floor, just to give it a basketball like realistic effect here. So I'm gonna go down, just make it of size. I think that's good. Not really gonna have the basketball court in it because we have the wood. We just kind of want the light effect here. So I'm gonna bring this back. Might scale it down just a little bit. Let's control minus. Scale that down. So I'm kind of gonna give it the same treatment that we gave the wood here. We're gonna basically mask it. Try to get it to blend in a little bit. We're gonna take our brush here, going to leave it black, just come in and just clean up some of the mess here. Clean something. So I'm just gonna float it up just a little bit. Top edges here, down, this is just going to give us our base for our background. I'm actually going to come in here and kind of like touch up the just a little bit. There we go. We're gonna make all the colors match here in a little bit. Let's actually come back here and bring a little bit of this out. A little bit of that out. Flip it back. Come out here to the side some more. Just give it a little touch. So now the next thing I did, if I remember correctly, is I added fireballs to the basketballs. As you can see on this side here, you kind of see the basketball lines through the fireball, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and add this in. Just gonna drag it on, pull it up, and Control T, transform it, and kind of get it at an angle here. Don't want it too large. But we're going to continue to scale it until it fits. I'd say about right here. I think in a second what we're going to end up doing is scaling down the entire project. I think I might have made it just a little bit too large, just based on how, as you can see, it's still got some space here on the side. Oh, I clicked off and it lost the scale. It's okay. Come back and do it again. Scale down. Scale down. Scale it up just a little bit. Gonna grab everything really quickly. Zoom out a little bit. Control T. Gonna have to do a little bit of touching up probably. But it's fine. Okay. That looks fine. Then we're going to rasterize this layer. Then we're going to duplicate this layer. Okay. I'm going to come here, select this duplicate fireball. I'm going to drag it over to MJ's basketball. And we're going to go to edit, transform, and we're going to go to flip horizontal. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take an eraser. Actually, we're going to take a mask, not the eraser. We're going to make another mask on here. And we're going to take brush, going to scale it down just a little bit. And we're going to change the opacity really low because we don't want to erase the whole fireball. We just really want to get the middle to show the ball through the fire. So it's gonna come in really slightly. As you can see, the more I tap it, the more the basketball is starting to show through, giving it the outer fire effect. And I think that's pretty good. We're gonna come in with our levels and stuff in a second and fix that. Now we're gonna go to Jordan's, do the same process. Layer mask, come through, raise till you can see the details of the ball. I think that's okay right there. Let's go ahead and add the NBA logos here on the side. Then after that, we can come up top and do the text. So let me just grab these NBA logos really quickly. We have the Phoenix Suns right here. And that's fine. We're gonna scale it down in a second. What I'm gonna do is rasterize this, of course. Delete it. Control D, deselect. Select the insides. And we're gonna delete those as well. Deselect. Then we're going to come out, hit Control T on the Phoenix Sun. Oh wait, I'm doing the selection. So make sure we deselect it. Control T. Drag it down. I'm gonna put it just outside of his leg here. Like so. Then we're gonna go right click on the Phoenix Suns logo layer. We're gonna go to drop shadow here. You can copy my settings here, or you can do it however you want. There we go. Now let's do the Jordan one, the Bulls at least. And I'm gonna take the same approach that we did with the Phoenix Suns logo and just do it to the Bulls logo. I'm gonna just get the white background off. I'm not using remove background on these because it has a tendency to remove the eyes and the inside of the horns and stuff like that. And I really just want the white background of it to be gone. So I'm gonna make sure we scale it to size here. Drag it on this side. We're gonna come and touch it up in a minute. Make sure it's about the same here, which I think it is. It starts at the top of the knee. Actually, it might be a little bit bigger. Go. That's good. And then I'm gonna come to our Phoenix Suns here. I'm gonna right click on this. I'm going to go to copy layer style. Right click on here. Paste layer style. Okay. And next, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring in the Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley image that we see right here inside of the trophy. So I'm gonna drag that over, gonna bring it to the top, gonna scale it, of course. Scale, rotate it a little bit. So from here, I'm gonna actually bring it right on top of the trophy. I'm gonna control click on the trophy, and it's gonna highlight the trophy like this. Make sure we right click on this layer and we go to rasterize layer. Control Shift I to inverse the selection, and we're gonna delete the outer parts that are outside of the trophy. That way it fits inside the trophy. Then I'm going to actually go to the lighting layers here. And I believe, I don't know which one I used. Let's set it to soft light right quick. And I'm gonna go to this one and see exactly what I use. I put it on linear dodge at 78%. So let's go ahead and do that. Then from here, gonna go to edit, free transform, and I'm going to go to warp. That way we can really make it fit inside of what we're trying to do here. And then we're gonna come back in a little bit and control click on this again. Make sure that we select this layer for where the image is. Control Shift I again, and again delete all the excess. So now we have that there. We can still come in and adjust the visibility over here with the opacity, just to taste. And yeah. So I think the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just gonna touch up, you know, the players a little bit. As you can see, we got some issues right here with the fingers. Again, player in the background. Some sneaker issues here. So we're gonna come here to our mask, and then we're going to take you can either use a brush if you're pretty solid with your hand, or you can come here with the magnetic lasso tool and just come in and just make sure you have the mask selected. Oh, I double clicked it on accident. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that. So I'm just gonna zoom in here. It's kind of like hit escape. You can hit escape to cancel it. yeah, we're looking okay so far. So if you can kind of see like this the MJ like picture, it's a little blurry compared to the Chuck one. You know, it's kind of like a soft Gaussian blur on it. So what I'm gonna do is go to filter, sharpen, unsharpen mask, and I'm gonna fool with a little bit of the settings right here. Let's actually go to his face a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So this is the base picture, I guess. We got up the radius, get the threshold down. So the next thing we're gonna do is actually add our 3D text. So for this, I use College Block 2.0. Let's go ahead and type in 1993. I don't know why it's doing that, but yeah. Okay, we got our text. Let's change the font size just a little bit. Like so. And we're going to double click one more time, and we're going to give it the arc look. So we're going to go to arc lower, make it negative. Let's say about 20 is okay. Then we're going to come down right quick. Try to get there. Probably going to have to do it a little bit more. Actually, I think that's okay. So what I'm also going to do, what I noticed is we added a little bit too much floor here. So we're going to come down to this floor, and we're going to grab our rectangle tool again, and we're going to do it right above the sneakers this time. We're going to delete. We're gonna do the same with the trophy, which is, where's the trophy? Fireballs. Okay, here's the trophy right here. So I'm gonna delete. Actually, let's use the brush for this. Soft brush. I'm gonna bring the whole thing down. So I'm holding shift and I'm pushing the down button on my canvas. Just to give it a little space so we can make the text just a little bit more warped. And try 25. Control T, hold shift, pull up. Want to leave some space for the 3D that we're gonna add here in a second. And yeah, I think that's okay about right there. So the next thing we're gonna do is click the text. I'm gonna go to 3D. Actually, no, before we do that, let's duplicate it because we want to have a layer that we can apply a layer style to. Then we're gonna come to the bottom one. Gonna go to 3D, new 3D extrusion from selected layer, switch to the 3D workspace, yes. I also did a tutorial on the 3D text already, so you can go check my latest video before this one, and it'll have a fully immersed tutorial on how to do 3D text here in Photoshop. Unfortunately, it is being discontinued, so won't be able to do this long. That's why I'm sticking to the version that I have for a while, because I like the 3D text options that we have. So right now I'm playing with the extrusion depth right here just to make it longer, shorter, whatever. Kind of want it to stand out like that. So then we're gonna go here to bevel. I like using a bevel effect. Actually just reset my extrusion. Like that. We're gonna disable cast shadows. So right here I'm going through some presets. I think I'm actually gonna stick with the blue lights, because the main thing about 3D text, like I said in my last tutorial video, is you want to have details in the background. You want to be able to see those details, because that's what kind of gives it the, you know, the solid 3D text look. We can always come back and change the colors, you know, desaturate it, do whatever, make it fit whatever we want to later in you know, post editing. But for now we're just gonna go with that because that gives us a good look. And yeah, so next thing we're gonna do is go to 3D, render 3D layer. Now I'm telling you right now, like I said in the last video, this is gonna take a while, because it takes a while for the system to render the 3D text to an editable image or just finished 3D render. So I'm gonna pause the video, gonna come back, and we're gonna continue on with the tutorial. So be back in a little bit. Also, a quick plug: I just released my complete bundle on my website, Zays.studio, where we have mock-ups, text styles, templates, brushes, basically anything you can imagine to make your designs better. Right now it is on sale, and if you purchase it, you will get every kit that is released in the future once it gets added to the master bundle. Okay, so we're back. Our text is done, and I went ahead and desaturated the text. I did that by going to image adjustments, desaturate. After I duplicated the 3D layer and right clicked and rasterized it. So we have just our base text here, and we're gonna go to our blending options. I'm gonna use one of the gradients that's in my vintage covers gradients pack, which is for free. You can find it in the description. So I went in there and I picked one, and then this is how it turned out. And then of course we still have the text on top. So this is how we're gonna do the effect, the gold effect. About to sneeze. So we're gonna go to our styles here, and then we're going to go to this one right here. That's in my Streetwear Sauce Volume 2 pack that I thought fit very well. Gonna zoom in here, and what I actually did for this one is I disabled the red stroke. I think it's one of these right here, and from there I right clicked on the FX button right here, scale it down. I think I scaled it to about 67 right there, and that's our text. And then we're gonna come back on top. We're gonna use I believe I use Merit, the Merit text, and then I did that one. Set this back to 0, make it a little bit smaller. Come in, type Phoenix Suns versus Chicago Bulls. Scale it down. And by the way, I had to close the other picture because my computer just wasn't having it. Photoshop started doing some weird shit, so I had to close it. But it's okay because I have a picture that I will pull up for reference. Then we got this. Let's highlight this. We're gonna click capital. Kind of make it a little bit smaller. And we're gonna use this one right here to kind of spread it out to perfectly fit the top layer much as possible. Then we're gonna move it up just a little bit. Then we're gonna take our Chicago text, highlight that. Then we're gonna come to our bull, select the red off of there, click OK. Then we're gonna come to our Phoenix Suns, and we're gonna select the orange off of the logo, just like that. I think I'm actually gonna make the text a little bit smaller. I'm gonna spread it out a little bit more. Dab in. And there we go. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan text, which is right here. Just move this to the top. Layer. Remove that and make that back 0. Double check. Double click. Charles. Enter. Barkley. What we're gonna do is remove this height. Gonna make the height closer together. Make it larger. And I actually used, if I remember correctly, I used Angelic Child for this one. Slide it over there. And the only thing I did for this text is I added a drop shadow. No, I added a stroke. Text stroke. Just a simple black text stroke. And I'm gonna duplicate it. I'm gonna hold shift just so the alignment is messed up. I'm gonna move it over. And for this one, I'm going to push it there. I say Michael Jordan. Drag that there. Actually gonna make this ball a little bit smaller in the back. Just a tad. There we go. And okay, so next we're gonna add the Spalding ball that we saw in the center right here with the 1993 NBA Finals on it. Let's move this to at least in front of the trophy. Scale this down to about so. Then we're going to come in and we're going to remove the logos from the ball by using the spot healing tool. Gonna see how this works. I believe this is how I did it on this on the other image. So rasterize the smart object, yes, just gonna select it. Boom. Gonna select it. The NBA logo here. See what it does. Boom. Okay. Now to get this line out is going to be a little bit more tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our clone stamp tool. or around because we don't really want the ball to be faded. Just gonna alt click. You have to alt click before you do this. And we're just gonna smooth across. And we're going to add our NBA Finals logo. Right there. That looks okay. Then, let's see if I remember how I got this background off. I don't believe I used remove background, but let's go ahead and use it and see what happens. I think I used the magic wand tool for this one. Yeah. See, this is what I talk about when I say you can't rely on that tool too much, only for simple things. And that right there just gave you a better result quickly. Let's go ahead and just do a little quick cleanup. Let's get some of the gunk out between those. Just continuing to add on and try to clean it up. Actually, I'm gonna go in with and do it with the eraser tool really quickly. No, actually, I'm just gonna use the the lasso. Just gonna come in here. Just quick cleanup. Deselect. Come in here and do a little quick cleanup. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but just want to make sure that this isn't visible in the image. Delete. 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 Select. Deselect. And one thing that you'll notice in the original one is that I actually made this text white just to give it a little bit more of a standout. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take my lasso tool and I'm going to, what did I do with that tool? I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think that is how I did it. I'm actually going to go to edit, fill with white. And yeah, that'll do. So I'm gonna edit, fill, white. Now the text is white. We're gonna come here and we're gonna add a slight drop shadow to it. Not like that. This is gonna be right up under it. Size is gonna be about so. Again, I know it's a little details right here that we wanna like come in and fill in, but just for the purposes of the video, I'm gonna leave them alone. So there's our basketball. We're gonna do a reflection here in a minute. So the next thing up is our photos right here. So for this, we're gonna use our our ellipse tool. We're gonna hold shift, bring it down to about so, and it's gonna usually fill in with black. Gonna drag that on the top, come back to our ellipse tool, do about 40 pixels, duplicate it, duplicate it, transfer it over. I'm also gonna duplicate both of these. Move them in, Control T, drag them and make them a little bit smaller. Move this one here, this one here. Use the guides to make sure they're aligned. I'm actually gonna select these two, bring them up just a little bit, just to have some room. That one up a little bit. This one up a little bit. That one up a little bit. And yeah, that should do. Okay, next we're gonna grab our images and we're gonna drag them in. Got a picture of Kevin Johnson here for the Suns. Now a trick that I use to make sure that they're aligned and the heads and stuff actually fit inside the image is to come to whatever you're trying to put it in. So say I'm gonna put this image inside this ellipse. I'm gonna hit Control, hold Control, and click on this, and it'll give you the outline where it actually is. So if it's not aligned, just hit Control D to deselect, move it over a little bit, see where it is, Control D to deselect, and there we go. I think that's pretty good. I might just nudge them a little bit to the right. There we go. So we're gonna hit Control Shift I after that. Make sure we have that layer rasterized so you can make edits to it and delete the rest. And now we have him in the circle. Next up is Dan Marley. We're gonna drag him in. Control move him. I'm gonna take the same approach. Rasterize this layer. Make sure we find the right one. There we go. Nudge him a little bit. Click. Nudge up a little bit. Control click. Control Shift I. Once you're ready, delete. Go. Next up is the Horace Grant image we have. Scale down. Same steps. Move up. Control click. It's great right there. Control Shift I. Make sure we rasterize. Control D to delete. And we have Scottie Pippen. We're gonna drag this one over. Boom. Control. So I'm gonna rasterize this one. This is our one right here. Deselect, move it over a little bit. Control click, Control Shift I, Control, just hit the delete button. And yeah, we have our players inside. So what we're gonna do is on each layer, go to Control Shift U to desaturate. Control Shift U, desaturate. Control Shift U, desaturate. Control Shift U, desaturate. So what we're gonna be doing is manually coloring in these images. So just to give it more of a vintage look. And we're going to also come here to levels, create clipping mask, duplicate this layer, drag it up, create clipping mask, same thing, drag it up, create clipping mask, and we're going to do it one more time. Duplicate, create clipping mask. So for each one, we're gonna bring the darkness out a little bit. So for here, just gonna bring out some dark, bring out some light, all at the same time. There we go. Gonna click on Scottie, we're gonna do the same thing. Come to that levels layer. Do the same thing to DJ, to Kevin Johnson. I'm gonna do it to Dan Marley as well. Okay. So there we go. So we're gonna try this on Kevin Johnson first. Gonna set this layer to multiply at the top here. Then we're gonna zoom in. So we got our ball, players. Okay, so we gotta change this text up here to a different color. So we're gonna duplicate this layer. And we're going to change the color of this gradient to like a bluish. I don't remember exactly what I did, but it's like light blue in the middle, darker blue at the end, something like that. Now what I did after this was I just rasterized this type, and I rasterized layer style on top of it. So then from there, I took the lasso tool, just cut out the parts that wasn't included in what I wanted to do, and there we go. Also did some fire effects. I did some levels on the fallout, on the fire on the ball. Let's make this a flipping mask. Only affects the ball. Let's give it a dark burn effect, kind of. Something like that. And I duplicated it. Dragged it to this one. Also made this one a clipping mask. So it only affects the balls. Just like that. And for the brushes in the background, what I did was make a new layer. I believe I used Resource Boy has some free lightning brushes on his website. I actually went on there and got some brushes from there. Here they are. They're called the lightning bolt brushes. They are free to download. And then I just had some white ones, just sporadically throughout, just changing different brushes, trying to get different effects, just painting that on, making sure not to go over the top of this text or to put anything in the middle of the text where you can like see the beginning standpoint of it. Just want to kind of like it so look like the text is raining down lightning on the ball here. I just kept adding different ones, just trying to fill it in. Also being weary of where they go. And yeah, that's about that. Also did some levels on MJ. Create a clipping mask on him. A little bit darker. Make the light pop a little bit more. So there we go. Did the same thing for Chuck. Levels. Make sure you make it a clipping mask, because if you don't, it'll affect the whole project. So, blending options. I believe I added a drop shadow of each of the players. Something like that. Nothing too crazy. So go ahead and copy this layer style. Select MJ. and paste that layer style. And yeah, I believe the next thing I did was on our background. I added a selective color here. I believe I added one that was actually in my pack that's available on Zays Studio. I added it's kind of a blue tinge. I think it may have been that one. 8. I think it may. I think I actually desaturated this one, so I'm gonna actually right click on this layer and rasterize the layer. Control Shift U, desaturate it. And yeah, I think I used number 5, which is in my free. Yeah, I used number 5, which is actually in my free starting pack, which is available on Zays Studio as well. You can just go on there and fill out your information, and it'll send it to you directly from email. You just get a Dropbox link, and it has 5 textiles, 5 templates, like distressed templates, like current templates you can apply on your designs to give it that vintage look. And it has some assets and some color corrections, and I think this was the 5th one that was in that pack. So I mean, that's basically the design, pretty much, give or take. It's pretty close. Just had a little bit more lining in the back, and I also filled in the red and the orange on the jerseys on this one. Yeah, so that's the front. That's how I did the front, essentially. Then I'm gonna show you guys how I did the back of this design, which is much simpler than the front. It took me about 20 minutes, so I'm gonna try to speed run through it and show you guys how I did it. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so like I showed you guys before earlier in the beginning of the video, this is the back of the design, and as you can see, it has the same text style right here, NBA logos, and inside record, which is in Mistral font, I believe, and the same font that was on the front showing the player names is on the back. I dragged the same trophy, same picture on the inside. I just found some other stock images of MJ looking up, Scott looking up, Charles looking up, and I put the same picture on the inside, but I've also put like little lightning bolts on the inside of the trophy. Also had a brick wall in the back where I placed the logos of the team on each brick wall. And yeah, let's try to recreate this real quick. So let's go ahead and make another new document, 20 by 25, same thing. Let's arrange it vertical. First things first, let's change that background color to black. Gonna bring this wood floor. That's at the bottom end. Oh, my allergies are killing me, guys. My allergies are killing me. It's gonna make it a little bit darker. Gonna grab that same trophy. Grab both of those layers. Gonna go ahead and just drop those here. Move it above. Boom. Next, I'm gonna bring in my brick wall background that I had, like so. Drag that down below. Gonna rasterize the layer. We're gonna add a layer mask. I'm gonna take my brush tool. I'm gonna use black. Make sure I have the mask selected. And then I'm going to take the soft round, shrink it to about 1,000. Just gonna come in, touch it up. Come in and touch it up. Touch it up. Image adjustments. Actually, let's do it here. I believe I brought the darkness down to about so. Actually, gonna scale this up a little bit. Scale the trophy up a little bit. Bring this wall down just a little bit. Scale it widthwise. Then I'm going to take the text that I had here, which is these 3 layers. I'm going to drag them down here. Also gonna make this a clipping mask for that layer. Gosh. Lock this layer. Grab these 3 down. Then I'm gonna take the text tool. Gonna go back to that angelic child font, and I'm gonna scale down. Make sure you click the alignment to the left side here. I'm gonna drag this all the way up. Do the names really quick. Select all, change the height to make it fit. I'm gonna right click, blending options. Let's click on the stroke. Go. And we're going to duplicate this layer. Hold shift while I move it over. Gonna select all, align it right. Drag it over to about where I want it. Just move it over. Start over with a new list. Boom, there we go. to grab the two pictures I have of MJ. Probably went to the wrong one. And for this one, I'm going to use to remove background, rasterize. Remove background. Behind the trophy, scale them to need. So then we're going to grab the picture of Charles Barkley. Which I don't, for some reason, have on my computer anymore. So we're just going to take this one from over here. Just going to use that one. Make sure the heads are kind of aligned. Then I'm gonna take the mask and I'm going to use this brush here. I'm going to erase parts that we don't need. We're gonna do the same thing for Mike. Oh, I didn't do it on the mask. Actually, the Chuck one is fine. Sure. Mike mask. I gotta do that for black. And why is it not doing anything? Someone of our mask is fine. Next, I'm going to come back to here. Gonna take our two logos. Drag them here. Let's go ahead and unlock everything that we're not using. Let's go ahead and lock that, so I don't want to touch any of that. Just gonna scale it down. Drag it there, then drag it over the top of the text. Then we're gonna take those same ones again, drag them, and we're gonna put them over the top of the brick wall. We're going to right click and we're not going to, actually, drag these off, click mask. Please click mask on. Scale up on Phoenix size. Clear layer style, and then we're going to set it to art light, I guess. I don't know. Whichever looks good to you. Do the same thing for this one. Set it to the top there. Same thing, and sit on the wall. Then we had A little bit of text down here at the bottom. For this one, I use Barrett. Now for the text, I'm just gonna bring this over. It's simple text, guys. It's just simple text, just to add on to the aesthetic of it. And yeah, give or take, that's pretty much it. On this one, we did do some selective colors, and the one I did was featured on my throwback tints selective colors pack, which is available on my website. Layers, clip and mask that one. Then we're gonna clip and mask this one as well. And for each of these, I did 11, which is on my, like I said, my throwback tints pack. And I think other than that, I just added some gold lightning bolts. I think I took a dab off of this. Start adding like little lightning bolts coming out of the trophy. Little yellow lightning bolts are they're a little bit lighter than that. Whatever. Just little touches, you know. Then I will come in and erase them off of the trophy or whatever. Just to give the gold a little, you know. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how I did the design. And I'm gonna show you one last thing. So hold on, I'm going to pause the video and I'm actually gonna open my t-shirt builder and I'm gonna show you how I apply the distorted and halftone effects to the image just by dropping it in and picking which ones I want. Okay, so this is my t-shirt auto builder. Just go in and click on this layer right here, which I dragged in the front and the back. So put them inside the guidelines here. Then you hit save. And as you can see, it gives you a halftones effect with the distortion. It's really high quality, as you can see. And then basically to choose the style that you want, all you have to do is come into the textures tab here. Now this part has all of the textures that are currently available on my website. all in this bundle. So you can just come in and you can pick whichever textures or multiple textures if you want and apply them. But if you're doing multiple, I would suggest doing the top layer as multiply. So for this one, I did the vintage grunge and the sparse cement ones, which is like this. And I came in, closed it. And you can do the same thing for the halftones. You can come in, select the halftone that you want, which is the little circle patterns, whatever. And yeah, you have your design pretty much ready. Then to get the actual just PNG of it with the print on it, you would control click on the design right here, control shift C, and you want to come in here, you can paste it. Boom, there's your finished design. You can export it as a PNG. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like on a shirt real quick. Okay, so this is the final design. This is one of the mock-ups that's also available on my site in the Ultimate T-shirt Builder Pack. This T-shirt, we can change the logo, everything like that in the back of the shirt. So this is the front of it, and this is what the back would look like. So yeah, of course you would have to, you know, change a little bit of the lighting because the front's a little bit lighter than the back, but who cares? You guys get the gist of the video. So I think it's pretty dope. I'll personally wear the fuck out of that, me personally, but hey, you can come up with what you want to come up with. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'm gonna be bringing more content like this that really deep dives into how to design this type of shit, because yeah, you know, this type of stuff is selling, so why not teach you guys how to do it? This is Zay signing off. Subscribe for more, like the content if you like the tutorial, and yeah, peace.